Hey everyone, my project is focusing on how climate change is worsening extreme heat in Tucson, how that heat stresses our desert plants, and how green infrastructure can help. So Tucson's already in a hot climate, but climate change trends are showing that average temperatures are increasing and pushing us into more frequent extreme heat days. Local public health surveillance documents a long hot season with many days over 100 degrees, plus periods over 105 and even 110. Surfaces like asphalt and low tree cover only add to extra heat in neighborhoods. Desert plants are adapted to heat, but not to unlimited heat, especially not when combined with long droughts and hotter nights. Research from the Sonoran Desert Institute shows that extreme heat and drought events can reduce plant performance and survival. Many plants open their pores at night and perform photosynthesis when temperatures are cooler. Because even these temperatures are increasing, plants aren't opening their pores and are basically suffocating themselves. For saguaro specifically, there's also evidence of reduced recruitment, meaning fewer young plants are successfully establishing themselves under worsening climate conditions. Heat is a direct health hazard. The CDC outlines risks like heat exhaustion and heat stroke, and Pima County tracking shows heat-related emergency visits and deaths occurring during the heat season. The biggest problem isn't just temperature, but exposure. Shade and cooling access function like prevention. It might also surprise some of you to know that almost 30% of heat-related deaths in Pima County occurred in people who were housed, and about 36% of heat-related deaths are attributed to occurring indoors in 2024. So how does green infrastructure help? Trees and vegetation cool through two main mechanisms, shade and evapotranspiration. Plants work kind of like a swamp cooler. They allow water to evaporate, and as a result, they cool the air around them with that change in energy. Also, in the desert, being water smart matters, so stormwater capture becomes part of the cooling strategy. Luckily for us, Tucson already has strong local programs like Tucson Million Trees and Storm to Shade. These efforts are combining tree canopy expansion with green stormwater infrastructure, like curb cuts and basins, to help keep plants alive using rainfall. And this is one of the maps that I got from one of Tucson's websites showing how the Tucson Million Trees is improving like tree equity across underserved neighborhoods. Strategic planting is an important part of our local strategy, putting shade where exposure is highest, matching species to heat and drought, and prioritizing establishment care for the first 1 to 3 years. That's where storing rainwater helps. Because young plants are so sensitive, we need extra water to help them get through those first few years. After that, they typically do well on our usual rain patterns. A Tucson-friendly approach uses desert-adapted shade trees and understory species, plus nurse plants that help keep cooler microhabitats for seedlings. It's also important to select low-water species that still provide meaningful shade. My takeaway is simple. If heat's the problem, shade is part of the solution. In Tucson, planting and water harvesting are evidence-based solutions and help reduce heat exposure, support vegetation, and protect health. Here is a list of all the references that I used in preparing this presentation.